$3.75. Tonight, I'm baking cookies. Well folks, yes, we are going to be making cookies again tonight. It is the land between the holidays, between Thanksgiving and Christmas, and so it's cookie season. And so I'm going to be making my second batch of cookies tonight. And I had originally intended on making sugar cookies tonight, but I forgot a very important ingredient at the grocery today, so I'm not going to be making sugar cookies. Thankfully though, I did pick up the one essential ingredient for what we are going to make tonight, which is going to be a version of chocolate chip cookies. It's actually M&M cookies. And so let's get turned around here and see how we're going to go about this. Alright folks, so tonight we are in fact going to be making one of my favorite cookies. That is M&M cookies. And to start with, we need 2 sticks of softened butter here. And we're going to put those right here into our mixing bowl. If I can get them open. There's one, if it'll cooperate. Go. Now next I've got 1 cup of packed brown sugar, or 1 cup of brown sugar packed. If I can get it to come out, there we go. And I've got 1 3/4 cup of sugar. In this case it's actually Splenda. But if you don't like Splenda, by all means use sugar. It does measure 1 for 1. Okay, out of the way. We're going to take our blender here and we're going to cream all this real quick. We'll grab a spatula. And the recipe says to beat this for about 5 minutes until fluffy. And I will put a link down below in the show comments to the written recipe. Okay, I'll go with that. Now then, I need to take 2 eggs, 2 large eggs. There's 1. There's 2. Now I need 1 teaspoon of vanilla. That would be the small ones. There we go. I do use real vanilla. And then we are going to go ahead and we are going to beat that in. Now I've got 3/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder, and 3/4 teaspoon of salt. Yes, even in your sweets you need some salt to bring out the flavor. Now comes the fun part. I've got 2.5 cups of flour here. You want to be kind of careful with this when you go to turn on your mixer. I use about half and half whole wheat flour and half regular all-purpose flour. That's just me trying to be healthy a little bit. We are talking cookies here. Notice I started that out on low. You don't want to do flour on high, or you might end up looking like the Pillsbury Doughboy.
Excuse me, Mr. Burns.
Poppin' fresh, you glutinous little doughboy. Oh, there's something I've wanted to do to you for years.
A little more left here. Not a lot, maybe another cup. I think I put about 2/3 of it in there the first time, just by appearance. This is a pretty stiff dough at this point, but I think I pretty well got it all mixed together. Clean the beaters there. Beaters are for the kids now, because all we got left is our M&ms to mix in. I think I'm going to need something a little more substantial than my spatula there. I'm going to get my wooden spoon here that can stand up to this here cookie dough. You're kind of in the way. This cookie dough is fairly stiff stuff, I'm telling you. It's pretty hard to mix these M&ms into. It's not wanting to cooperate real well. I think we're pretty well done. Gotta clean up my mess, such as it is. Not too bad a mess at all, really. So I've got my cookie sheets lined with parchment paper here. And we're just gonna kind of flop those. One. Two. There's one sheet worth. Okay, so it tells me to flatten these with a fork somewhat. Kind of like peanut butter cookies. M&ms make it a little difficult sometimes to flatten these. Too much. That's a good start. Okay, so the oven to 8 to 11 minutes. Okay, so as noted previously, we're going to put these in at 375, 8 to 11 minutes. Cookie sheets on a middle rack. Set my timer for 8 minutes. And we will check them back in 8 minutes. Alright, so there goes our timer. I don't think these are quite ready yet. That was only 8 minutes, set 8 to 11. Give them a spin. I'm going to check them back in about 2 minutes. Okay, now one thing you got to keep in mind when you're baking cookies, see they're starting to brown around the edges, that's what we're looking for. One thing you got to keep in mind is that the first batch you do, and the pans when they're cold, they will probably take longer than a second batch when the pans are already warm. Okay, so those are some pretty good looking cookies right there. And it tells me that I need to let these sit for 3 or 4 minutes. Actually, I was just setting the timer for that second pan of cookies I put in the oven. So we're going to let those sit for 3 or 4 minutes before we move them. So, speaking of hot, my racks are sitting underneath there. One can sit there, but the other one needs to move over so I can put cookies on it in a minute. Okay, so if you saw my last cookie video, the one where I put the Hershey's Kisses into the peanut butter cookies, I told you that I bought myself specifically a thin metal spatula just for cookies, because it can get up underneath there and not break them all up. And although when you put them on parchment paper like this, they come up real easy. Move those over to the cooling rack. I got enough to at least do this pan again. It's kind of weird. Some of my cookie recipes, they some come up long and some come up short compared to what the recipes actually say they were going to make. Definitely going to have enough to finish out this pan. And some of the next one. I'm not complaining. Okay. Go ahead and flatten these down just like we did the last ones. Okay, so it's been a total of 10 minutes on these again. Yeah, I think those look fine. In with the next batch. We'll let the ones we just pulled out sit for 3 or 4 minutes. Move them to the cooling rack. Okay, we'll see how many more we can get out of this. By the way, this is a number 40 scooper is what it's called. And look at this. How about that? So that's going to be exactly, I think 48 cookies. Guess who gets the liquid spoon? Okay, another minute and a half or so. It's time to check on cookies. Now I'm going to take them in with that one. Okay, so the first two batches that I put in the oven in the cold pans, they were in there for 10 minutes. My last one were in there for 9. I think I'll leave that for one more minute. I think I'm going to take it. Okay, so 9 minutes on that second tray. And we're going to let those cool for a few, and then we'll move them over here to the cooling rack. Okay, folks, so the last few cookies here are ready. Look at that. How nice did that work out? How about that for a stack of cookies? Alright folks, let's get turned around. It is that time. I'm just going to have to pluck that one right there off the top. You know how it is. Okay folks, well, no plate needed tonight. I did, however, forget a very important ingredient when I was at the grocery tonight. And I actually needed a little bit to make the sugar cookies. That would be milk. And while cookies are great by themselves, it sure would have been a lot better if I'd had a big glass of milk right now. I don't know if there's anything much better than fresh baked cookies. It's got to rank right up there at the top of the list. These are some great cookies, folks. Hey, if you like what you're seeing, down here in the bottom right hand corner, hit like and subscribe. And stay tuned. There's always more to come. And thanks for watching. Santa Claus is going to love these.